Okay, sorry. Audio is a little fucked there. My bad, guys. Sorry. Hey, Lonesome Dreams, thank you for the 53 months. Neomorphix, thank you for the 17 months. Thank you, thank you. Is my YouTube stream on? Says I have 0 views. Oh, it's unlisted. This is a new game. Yeah, this is the new, this is the sequel to Bloodborne, made by From Software. I don't know how you didn't hear about it. This is Bloodborne 2. All right, we're back, baby. Hopefully the mod creator will show up and be able to help me figure out where new stuff is, because I have no fucking idea. Yeah, so this mod has... Well, if you guys weren't here yesterday, it has a bunch of different trick weapons. So... I mean, I can show you some of them. It's a cool mod. It does it, you know, it's not as... It's only made by one guy. Sorry, what I'm saying right now, I said like fucking 40 times yesterday, but... Yeah, the mod is cool. It doesn't add like new areas or new bosses necessarily. It's mainly just like vanilla bosses. But it adds a bunch of... Yeah, I mean, it changes like the UI, changes a ton of the different items, like icons and stuff. The Bloodborne items. And then there's a bunch of different trick weapons. You can get... Fact... I'll show you guys. Also, is the game sound okay? I feel like it's quiet. I think it's definitely too quiet. Anyways, so there's a bunch of just the basic weapons from Bloodborne. You know, you've got the cannon, Evelyn, piercing rifle, pistol, repeating pistol. Oh, right, I can buy bullets here. So these are all just like basic Bloodborne, like actual weapons from Bloodborne. But then there's also, you know, brand new weapons. And they do actually have... For some reason, I can't R1 right now. What the fuck is going on? It's weird. So you can actually do, like, trick attacks with this weapon. Well, with all the weapons. All the weapons are, like, trick weapons. This one is crazy. It's like dual guns. Yeah, it's a bit silly. We also have this coffin. You can actually block with it. Just put it in front of your head. Kind of funny. You can't even move. I actually never tried the weapon art on this before. Off I go. Am I gonna fall? I think I'm going straight towards the hole. Oh, it stopped. Alright. No stamina loss. Well, I think it's because I'm not in combat. Yeah, there's a lot of cool weapons. Hey, Graydon, thank you for the 35 months. Damn, chill, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, the guns are like kind of the best for they have like, the thing is the guns can also rally. Well, maybe we shouldn't just face tank, but I wonder what the block is on this. What's up, Jack? Hey, Hustendall, thank you for the 8 months. Thank you, man. These fucking enemies. Shit, dude. Is the DLC fully modded or just Mesmer? I was told it's just Mesmer. What's up, Ozzy man? Oh, I don't really want to fight those guys. So we have Somber Bell 3 and 4. Oh wow, that charge R2 does a lot. Freaking grinds him up. And that... Oh my god. That actually hit. Nice. I feel like sometimes I do like no damage with this thing, and then other times, I guess it's because I'm getting a bleed proc. Nice. We need 2 more dex levels. What's up, John's Fox? How's it going, dude? The new horror game, Isla. Is it actually interesting? Hey, Vanquished. Pat, which tunnel, if you guys could check for me, or maybe one of you know, which tunnel gives the somber bell bearing 2? Old Altus tunnel. Is that the one like close to the bridge teleporter? Okay. Thing is, like, normally there's never really a reason to get those to get those bells. You know, it'd be really cool if the mod creator of this, I mean, I don't know. I think it would be very complicated to do something like this, but it'd be cool if there was like a gem system. Like if you could actually gem equipment like in Bloodborne, but I mean there isn't really a, that would require like a complete custom like, it would just, the game does not really have support for something like that. Hey Nosebleed, thank you for the 41 months. There's no point in gemming equipment in Elden Ring. Well, okay. Yeah, there's new weapons and armor that you could find out in the world, but they're pretty, like, few and far between. Hey, Selly Ice, thank you for the 4 months. And John Sinclair, thank you for the 22. Thank you, guys. What am I doing? I mean, we should probably go fight Malenia still, I guess. Because why not? Hello, Kokuya. Weird, the weapon doesn't like show when you're on the horse. Alright guys, we're going for the skip. Easy. What? Wait, actually though, what? How did I die? I don't understand. My only thought is that I might have like landed on the side of the I landed on the rock with the Spirit Spring damage immunity, and then I proceeded to fall off the rock. which killed me, maybe. I don't know though, because I feel like I've had that same exact situation happen many times before, and I never had that issue. Yeah, I guess that is what happened. What? What is going on with this skip, man? Hey, Jojo Star, thank you for the 6 months. Hold on, oh, I gotta be right back. Give me 1 sec. This fucking mosquito. Alright, let's go kill this bozo. What? Not today, bozo. Ella would love this mod 222. You make a good point. Ella would be right at home. I feel like enemies are so tanky. Like, do those enemies really have 2,000 health normally? It was a large one. That guy did not look very large. Are any of the zones different? Not really. This mod is mainly just a lot of new weapons and like a UI and some item and enemy reskins. But it's also an alpha. The weapons are fun to use. I'm just gonna try to kill like I'll do Mohg, Malenia, and then beat the main game, and then we're probably gonna switch over to like killing antidote after that. I don't know if I'm gonna do a super long stream today because Larksa is not feeling well, so might go hang out with her after I stream for a little while. Damn, this thing is bright. What the fuck? We're going for the DLC. I wasn't really planning on it because there isn't really anything new in the DLC. I don't know why I'm even picking this shit up.
Oh, good morning. Are you here as a
Hopefully I can get enough arcane to take this mask off. Nope, I still need 2 more points. Well, shit, I didn't realize. Yeah, 40 arcane is kind of absurd. Bruh. Holy shit, these guys are crazy. Oh god. I'm dead. Holy shit, dude. Wait, what? Is that a weapon? Oh. Vile Blood's Finesse. Oh. Hold on. I still need to... I need to go to this tunnel and get the Somber Bell. You got kind of shit on. Drop down here. Like a better version of the pizza cutter. Yeah, pretty much. Does it affect enemy scaling? I'm not sure. I feel like some enemies are definitely stronger in this mod than like they normally are. But I might also be tripping. I don't know. Am I gonna give Reforged 2.0 a spin at some point? Maybe. I don't know. I think if I play Reforged again, I need to not do Master Mode. Even though I always like doing the hardest difficulty, but the fucking Master Mode is just kind of cancer. The thing is, I get bored of mods if they're too easy as well, though. But yeah, I should probably do like the difficulty under Master, because you still get like the new move sets and like the modified stuff, but it's just the bosses aren't like super fucking tanky. You know what? Let's give him the coffin. Watch this, guys. Aw. You like have to. All right, now we can upgrade our coffin. Yeah, I never bought this crescent sickle.
ground.
All right. What else? I guess let's just go fight Mohg. You know, I wonder if trick weapons are gonna make a return in Duskbloods. Do I have a Switch too? I do not. I played Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I used Lark's Switch. I'm gonna buy one before Duskbloods comes out though.
Dearest Mikola. You must abide alone a while.
Banana? Oh, Donkey Kong.
Welcome, honored guest, to the birthplace of our dynasty.
I wonder if we can one cycle in. Oh, this is not what I should have done, chat. I'm dead. I'm not dead. The mod actually killed me there. You can't double chug in this mod, so... Got me killed. It's not copium. Like, you can't heal twice in succession in this mod. It doesn't let you. You have to do like the blood draw animation twice. Because it's funny because that attack is specifically designed for you to be able to double chug on, because it procs slower. Like the third part of the knee heal does more damage, but it gives you enough time to heal twice. But in this mod, you can't heal twice. You hear excuses? Well, I'm looking at a dumbass in the chat. I want to do my buff, but... Oh, you bitch. Dude, stop putting down the rain. He puts down the rain and then goes straight into knee hill. Not sure how that works. Ah, come on.
I can see it as clear as day. The coming of our dynasty. Mohg will.
Wait, I didn't even use the physic, bro. I put on the purifying tier and I didn't even. Whatever. Oops. Oh, wait, I shouldn't have... I need to buy more somber stones. I kind of forgot. Alright, let's use the coffin.
Destined death. I will not have it stolen.
Malekith looks so fucking weird. What the fuck? Dude, I'm doing fucking nothing. Thing fucking sucks, bruh.
Oh, death. Become my blade once more.
Am I getting DLC early for Night Rain? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I could probably get the Night Rain DLC early, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until, you know, it's released to everyone before I play it. You think Night Rain's gonna get a second DLC? I don't know. You like block when you dodge with this thing. Come at me, bro. It's so much damage, man. What the heck? Dude, I don't understand this mod sometimes. Like, I swear, dude, in this mod, sometimes you just take like 1,000,000 fucking damage. I don't get it. Like, actually. Yeah, it's just like in Bloodborne. I wonder if he like upped the counter damage. I don't know. I've been trying new weapon. Dude, it's +1. I can't even. I mean, I can use it. It'd be horrible. Got the magic coffin. I will say, the weapon art on this is pretty good. Like, look at that weapon art, dude. That is... Fuck it. Go for the weapon art. Dang it. Does it add much other than weapons? I just answered that question. Will I play Constance? I have no idea what that is. It's spicy. Be back from lunch now, spicy. What games do I play offline? I've been playing Tarkov offline with Spicy. And I just fucking die every raid. It's great. But I'm getting a lot. I've been playing Arena in Tarkov, and I've actually been getting a lot better. And also, I realized that I was playing Tarkov on like 50 FPS. And so I changed my settings and now I have 144 and it's like the game actually feels like playable. Dude, the game was running on like 50 or 60 FPS and I was like, oh, I guess this game just runs like a piece of shit. Like I just thought that was just like the game. I didn't realize, you know, it was... Well, I mean, it does run like a piece of shit, but like... I thought it was just that, like, the game just felt like ass. Oh! I don't know why I'm trying to do this skip. Do I actually have like a shield? That's cool, man. Yep, and then, yep. Why am I even doing this skip? I don't think you can parry. I don't think you can parry anything that guy just did. I don't think is parryable. All right, you know what? Fuck this, dude. Fuck you. That was actually scary. Their butt blasts like went directly over me. Why am I even trying to kill this guy? Like, honestly, why? What am I even fucking doing? Just run past the. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just blast this guy off with the cannon. But no, fuckface over to the side is spamming 17 fucking magic missiles per second. All right, it's fine. Yeah, I don't have the camera change stuff anymore. I should try to set it up again. Oh yeah, let's try the new weapon. Oh, that was kind of cool. Can I L2? Damn, this moveset is some fucking cheeks, bro. Thing sucks. Oh. I'm dead. I'm not dead. I thought I was dead. Okay, what am I fucking doing? God damn it, dude. Every time I could normally go for a double chug, I fucking can't in this goddamn mod. Oh, that's fucking cool, though. Okay, what? How does this... That is a cool combo. It's like, what the hell is the weapon called? Because this one has Vile Blood's Finesse. The other one is... I don't know, I'm so fucking bad. My memory is so cooked. No, not Bloodhound's Fang. The Bloody Healus. It's very similar to that weapon. I don't know, like, the thing is, this is a dagger, but it feels... like... Okay, I'm not even fucking kidding right now. Like, this is a dagger, right? It just don't feel like a dagger. The sword. I don't know what it is. Maybe either way, I'm pretty sure the Great Stars fucking swings faster than this thing. Are we not playing Killing Antidote later? Swear to God. Why are you even asking that? What do you mean, are we not? God. Sorry, I'm just like... Just got here? Okay, that's fine, but like... Did I say I'm not playing it? Did I say in my title I'm not playing it? I don't fucking know, bro. Oh, it's not a bad day. I'm just, dude, sometimes like the phrasing of questions just is so, it's like, I don't know, man. Ooh. My title changed. Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's just... I don't know. I might play Killing Antidote today. I might not. Larks is not feeling well, so I might not play it. I might do a short stream today. I can't wait for somebody to ask me in 2 minutes from now so I can repeat myself. Fuck. Sometimes I need to do a better job of just ignoring comments that trigger me. Sometimes it's like, it's not even, it's just like a streamer thing, dude. I get so fucking tired of like answering the same questions over and over again. I just can't help myself. Like whenever I answer a question people have asked like multiple times, I just start getting so fucking annoyed. I think yesterday I said like 50 times. Like, constantly people were like, does this mod actually change the game in any meaningful way? And then I'm like, no, it just... And then, you know, I also felt bad every time I said it because like the fucking mod creator was here. And every single time somebody comes in, I'm like, no, the mod is basically just new weapons and that's it. And then... I don't know. I know, it's like fucking first world problems, but... It is an alpha. Honestly, I should just make chat commands more often. I really should. The weapon the Vagabond replacement starts with is busted. I don't know what weapon you're talking about, but that's cool. Should we fight Malenia, chat? I could try to use a different weapon on her, I guess. I wonder if Malenia is gonna be different, yeah. Coffin her? Maybe let's bone wheel her. Oh shit. What'd they fucking do to her, dude? Dude, what the fuck?
I dreamt for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake. As I awaited his return. Heed my words. I am Malenia.
Oh, she kind of looks like the fucking. I don't even know what she looks like. She kind of looks like the Penetrator.
And I have never known defeat.
Strafed. Oh my god. I'm to get wheeled. What the fuck was that? Hello? This is so stupid.
Wait. The scarlet bloom flowers once more.
Holy.
You will witness true horror. Now, rot.
All right. Time to roll. Die. Here we go. We're going back in for more. We're going in for seconds. Going back in for thirds.
Extraordinary. The mark of a true lord.
We got her.
Dear Nicola,
Damn, the bone wheel was pretty good for Malenia.
Nicola, my brother. I'm sorry. I finally met my match.
No, you can't steer it, but if you lock on, then it can change direction. I guess we could upgrade some of the other weapons just to use some more different stuff. Hey Ninja, thank you for the 12 months. Also Fester, thank you for the 28 months. So somebody said one of the starting guns was good or something? Shotgun? Oh, I still need to buy that crescent sickle. Are there any boss weapons? Vagabond? Yeah, but I don't know what... I mean... I guess I could quit out and check. But I don't know what gun that even is. The gun scythe weapon? Oh, okay. Yeah, I already have that. Honestly, the best weapon in this mod, as far as I can tell, is the Tonitrus. And the Evelyn shoots fast. I mean, you can play the DLC in this mod, but there isn't... Apparently, the only thing in the DLC is like a Mesmer reskin right now. I don't think there's anything else. Can I try Amygdalin Arm? The thing is, I mean, it's just a copy paste of the weapons from Bloodborne, so I mean, I could use them, but I kind of prefer using the the new weapons. I guess we never actually really tried the quilled gauntlets. Did we use the Hinter Saber? I think we did a little bit. I don't remember if I liked it very much. Did I not grab? I don't know if I'm gonna bother doing a stellar Fortisax in this run. Honestly, I feel like I enjoy Elden Ring so much more when I don't do Fortisax or a Still. Those fucking... Like, dude, Fortisax is such a fucking shit quest. God, it's horrible. I mean, dude, for the Fortisax questline must... Like, doing everything for Fortisax has to at least take, like, 10 or maybe 15 minutes. Maybe even more. Oh yeah, I still have to fight Placidusax. I actually forgot about him. Because the thing is, like, if you want to do Fortisax, then you gotta... Like, you gotta kill the gargoyles, you gotta go to deeper depths, you gotta kill Fia's champions, you gotta do Ronnie's entire questline, get the Finger Slayer blade, go to the top of the fucking tower... It's just, oh my god, it's actually just disgusting. Like, skipping Fortisax and Estelle just cuts out... It probably saves you, like, 30 minutes, at least. How does this weapon work? Ooh, that's pretty cool.
I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become the Lord. It's a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit to the last. None shall take the throne. Queen Malenia now helps for us, but we continue to struggle. To eternity.
Crazy, dude. We got him right in the corner.
Not even you. A man cannot kill a god.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to use physic chat. Oh well, that's fine. I guess we can go do Placidus Axe before I forget. Try out one of the other weapons. That actually, this weapon art's kind of good though. Damn. That's pretty nice. Actually. Yeah, I used a decent amount of mana. I don't have much mana though. Like in general. Not sure if this is gonna be that good for Placidus Axe though. Weapon is not that good for Placidus Axe. I mean, that was just... I was just trying to be greedy. I just wanted to see how much damage the final hit of the L2 combo would do, but I think I ran out of mana, so it didn't do the third hit of the combo. I mean, the weapon is kind of to blame. I mean, not really, but... I just wanted to see the damage of the weapon art. Because I think if we I think if we dagger throw the head of Placidus Axe, we can actually probably do a lot of damage. How can you obtain the Bloodborne Holy Moonlight Sword? Yeah, that's actually a good question. Maybe we should do Ronnie. I don't want to do Ronnie's quest. Maybe we should just cheat ourselves to the Moonlight Altar. This thing fucking sucks, dude. He took so long to recover from that. Oh. Damn, this thing's fucking shit, bruh. Is that a bleed proc? What was that damage, dude? Holy shit, there's a guy in YouTube chat just like fucking full on spamming. Chill, brother man. Stop. You can type more than 2 fucking letters per message, my man. Wait, what's going on? What the fuck's going on? No fucking way the lingering. I hate the fact that I can't fucking heal twice in this fucking mod, dude. Oh my god, man. Dude, why are you not doing your fucking phase change? What is wrong with you? All good. I don't know if I just got confused or what just happened. Because did he not do... He did the second phase fly with the second flying attack, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He did it twice. I guess he just didn't have enough, or like I didn't get him low enough health to trigger the final phase. You see the new update for Wu Chang. If you die to a boss, you can start at the boss door again. That's cool. I mean, I'm done with that game. That game's in the fucking toilet, but that's cool. No, I mean, I liked Wu Chang. I even speedran it. But I'm done with it. I am done with Wu Chang. What should we use on Horalu? Coffin?
It's been a long while, Morgoth.
The fuck?
Long and hard didst thou fight, tarnished warrior, spurned by the grace of gold. Be assured the Elden Ring resteth close at hand. Alas, I am returned.
Sarash is looking so weird in this.
Audience once more.
He's got fucking arms. Hey Garf, thank you for the
name as Godfrey,
thank you again for the 59 months, man.
first Elden Lord.
This coffin is terrible. Like, I want to like it, but it's just not good. Like, this fucking... The sickle is doing the same damage as the coffin. Except the coffin attacks 3 times slower. What?
That will be all. Thou didst me good service, Sirach. I've given thee courtesy enough. Now I fight.
Hey Genton, thank you for the 2 gifted subs. Oh, and the 103 months as well. Thank you, man. Oh, you jerk. Dude, the dodge on this weapon's kind of cool. You like slide on the ground. I actually really like this sickle. This is a cool weapon. We could TP to the Ronnie quest. Can't believe torrents available during Elden Beast. Yeah. Chill, dude. Oh, that's my bad. Dagger, please. Hello? Hello, distro. Oh, what the fuck? Wheel, please. I can't even bleed him, though. Oh my god. Wait, is that the... What the fuck is that? Like... Is that... Yeah, I was wondering, is that like the unused moon presence from Bloodborne? But I don't think it is quite the same. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's go, Torrent! Woohoo! Yippee, Torrent! Dude, stop! Back here. That was cool. That's gonna hurt. Oh, never mind. The motion val or the mod my charge guard too there just did like the same. Did the same damage. My charge R2 on Torrent did the same damage as an R1. It did less, actually. I don't know what happened. You do not want to try to dodge that attack on Torrent. Woo! What's this armor? Nice. I mean, we do have all the DLC left, but the thing is, there isn't any new weapons in the DLC. So, I mean, like, we could do the DLC and just use what we have currently. I don't know. Apparently Mesmer has changed, so I mean, we could at least go to Mesmer and see that. We don't have to do the entire DLC though. Yeah, Optical Knob, thank you for the 107 months. Am I playing the new horror game? Are you trying to fucking annoy me?
I am led to touch the way to the realm.
What does that even mean? The new horror game. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, of course. The new horror game. Can I show Moonlight Greatsword? I mean, I would if I knew where to get it. I mean, I do know where to get it, but I don't know if like doing Ronnie's quest. Also, it's so fucking dark right now. I don't know if doing Ronnie's quest will give me it. Maybe it's just maybe it's the same. You have to fight Ludwig to get it. Maybe Ludwig is in this mod. I don't know. I mean, I am curious if you can get the Holy Moonlight Sword. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna turn on Cheat Engine and just teleport myself. Because honestly, fuck doing that quest. Damn, this is the backstep with this weapon. Hold on, let's see. Can I fucking dodge this dog? Wait, no. Wait, what? I mean, it works. You can't really spam it, though. It's not that great. Yeah, it's it's the Ishin side dodge, actually. Wait, use 2? Did the mod creator change how scatter works? Normally it does not take 2 already. The first like 3 or 4 levels of Scadu Fragment are normally only 1, I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm just fucking losing my mind. You had 2, didn't cost 2? No, it costed fucking 2, dude! I couldn't do it. Okay, you know what? Now I'm gonna go check. Now I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go check. Well, I mean, he might have changed how Scadu works, like how the scaling works. I have no idea. Maybe it doesn't even fucking go up to 20 anymore, for all we know. Hey, Radagon. Teleport to Mesmer? What if I don't want to? Oh, that fucking RV humping emote. This thing never coming back? Probably not. Probably not. Did I find the katana? Maybe? Hello? Can I jump on the horse? Game, please? What the hell? Why can't I jump? Do these weapons have the weird... Okay. I think these weapons have the two-handed... Like the old glitch where you couldn't jump on torrent and you would just fall to your death. I think that applies to the weapons in this mod. For some reason. Am I not in the right spot? It is the weapon's fault. Really stupid. I don't know if I'm dropping off at the right spot here. There we go. There we go. Was the Graceborne mod been? It's been cool. I mean, it's... I've answered the question you just asked like 100 times, but the mod is fun. Mod is fun. I'm just gonna say that. No, I mean, it's okay. I find myself, every time somebody asks that, I end up comparing it to, like, Convergence or Reforged. And I just feel bad about doing it, so... I don't know. I'm just gonna... It's fun. Try it if you want. There's a lot of cool weapons you can use. Did I finish chapter 2? No. I did not. Yeah, this mod is made by just one guy, I believe, which is kind of crazy because, like, I mean, I don't know if the mod creator, like, did he, I guess what I'm wondering is, you know, did he model, does he know how to 3D model? Did he make all of these skins for the bosses? If he did, that's kind of insane. Honestly. Wouldn't it be easier to rip them off? Yeah, but these aren't... Well, yeah, of course fucking cheating is always the easiest solution, but... That's... I mean, they're new skins. It's not like he just like stole it from like Bloodborne. Like they're actually like custom. There's 15 people in the credits for the mod. Yeah, I saw that, but most of them are like... Well, actually, I don't know. I didn't pay that... I wasn't paying that much attention to the credits at the bottom of the mod page, but I was looking at it, and I remember a lot of them said, like, you know... It was crediting people who helped him, like, figure out how to do stuff. Like, answering questions about, like, modding and whatnot. I'm gonna shoot this hippo in the face, dude. Oops. Wow, that had more range than I expected. That was so stupid. I love it. What about the big gun? Does it have like a range limit? Wait, the projectile just disappears? If it... It just disappears if it doesn't, like, connect with something early enough. I don't know if I really want to go this way, but we'll do it. Going through the waterways is so much faster to get to Mesmer, but I wanted to fight the hippo. Well, it's actually not that much faster, it's just 10 times less toxic. Like, going through this area the normal way is answer. Like, it's actually so fucking bad. There's so many enemies that just fucking destroy you. Then you got to climb up this building as well. Hmm. Where I was going. Actually isn't where I was supposed to go. I can't remember if there's a benefit to going this way. I think not. Good. Can I... Did I just fuck myself over? Try this again. Let's just go the way we're supposed to. How do you get the Bloodborne items? Some of them you could buy from the shop, but a lot of them are from invaders that you need to kill. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find the invaders, though. Oh no, you can't. So you can jump. That actually does save time going that way. Coming through. You can actually make it on that, I believe, if you're super quick. I kind of forgot about it. I forgot, though. Honestly, that combo is probably like the strongest. Just R1, R2, R1. All right. Yeah, apparently this is like the only thing that's different in the DLC, so I don't know if I'm gonna do all of the DLC, to be honest. Might just kill Mesmer and probably just call it there on the mod. So I guess. Okay, wait. There's one thing. Hold on, shit. Hey, the Slith, thank you for the 47 months. What is the item? What is like the ring that you need? Actually, you don't even need the ring. You just need to get here. Funny enough, there's no like actual requirements for interacting with this. There's no requirements for marrying Ronnie. Because we used to be able to skip to the Moonlight Altar and you could just get it right away. Oh, come on. Yeah, I wanted to use the Giga Seppuku, but I thought it might do too much damage. Oops. All right, what do we got?
Perhaps I go now. I bid thee, and one soul.
Seems like it's just the same. I don't think we get the Bloodborne one. Oh. Well, all this cheating for nothing. Imagine if I spent 45 minutes just to get there and be disappointed. That would have been a lot worse. It might be somewhere in the game, but the mod creator was here yesterday, like, telling me where certain stuff was, so I don't know. Anyways, apparently Mesmer's different, so who's the creator? Corvian Noctis.
Mongrel intruder. That tarnished, it seemeth. Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of life? Yet, my purpose standeth unchanged. Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death.
I gotta say, Mesmer's design is just like... I mean, his actual design is... Well, maybe when he goes phase 2, it'll be interesting.
gold shall all
Dude, the counter hits in this
In the
game are
embrace
fucked.
of
Like, I
mesmer's
swear, he actually made the counter damage higher. Dude, that should not have fucking killed me. That was 80% of my fucking health, dude. What the fuck? I mean, I'm level 7 Skadu. It's not like I'm even low Skadu. Chill, buddy. I've got hits.
stripped of the grace of gold shall all
I don't know why I'm trying to roll away
in
from
the
him.
embrace of mesmer's flame.
I'm so fucking rusty at Mesmer, actually. I really, you know what? Fuck. I'm not using these fucking shitty ass tiny weapons. Just makes me go for like punishes I shouldn't go for.
Stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of mesmer's flame. Oh my god. not suffer. Our Lord, devoid of light. No, Mother. Forgive me.
Honestly, why even like make a reskin for Mesmer? At least if you're gonna cover, why does he have a helmet?
Soon tarnished. Wilt thou be taken in the jaws of the abyssal serpent, shorn of light?
Like I was just like showing just a piece of metal. Oh, come on. Be like on top of it.
O lightless creature, embrace thine oblivion.
That's great.
As shall I.
I thought I could kill him, but then I accidentally switched to the other stance where I do no damage at all. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, the wheel dash isn't gonna work for this guy.
The grace of gold shadowing death. In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
If I try to use the wheel dash, I'm just gonna die. Because you can't stagger Mesmer. This weapon is so sick, actually. Like, this combo is just so good. Like the R1, R2, R1. Mesmer should be stronger. He's pretty strong already. Honestly. Alright. Well, I think maybe we'll switch over to Killing Antidote now. Like, we could do the rest of the DLC, but I don't know. I mean, it's... You know, it's... There isn't really anything new in the DLC. It's... I mean, we could just do it just to fight the bosses, but... I'll be right back, though. Give me 1 minute, chat. Alright, I'm back. I kind of want to play Killing Antidote, chat, but I don't know. Larks isn't feeling well, so I might just go hang out with her for a bit. Maybe watch. We've been watching Mr. Robot. Might go watch some of that. I don't know. She doesn't feel good, so might just end it here, I think. Yeah, sorry for the short stream though, guys. Maybe I'll be back later tonight. I don't know. But if not, tomorrow, chat, I will be back. We'll do Killing Antidote, do a longer stream tomorrow. Check out Isla. Yeah, I saw some people were playing that. Actually looks kind of interesting. $24. I wonder if I have a key for that in my mail.